I'm back! Already! Just like I said. Didn't I say I'd be right back? I told you. I told all of y'all I'd be right back. Enrico, Geronimo, oh so quickly. I told you. I told you. I told you I'd be right back, man. Alright, so here we go. Love and Literature, chapters 1 through 10. This is based off of a fanfiction, evidently. The fanfiction is not yet completed, which is why the mod is not yet fully completed. But this was labeled as a full release because it is indeed the full release of chapters 1 through 10. So, let's dive right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we had Timid for the Sayori mod, but now it's time to get our boy back in action. Welcome back, Slurp. Oh, good mod. Ah, Geronimo, so you've played it. Excellent. Chapter 1. All for a Cupcake. Sunrise. But sad. Oh, seriously? I'm so sick of sad. Why did I do this then? The piercing chirps of my alarm clock greet me to a rude but routine awakening. Groggily, I run my hands across my nightstand in search of my clock, finally grasping the plastic device. I squint through the darkness as I try to read the time. Dots. 7:01 a.m. Monday. I sigh and toss my blankets aside as I prop myself up on my bed. I get up and start to stretch, hang on. It's gonna drive me nuts. Sunrise begins to break through the gloomy clouds, washing away evidence of last night's rainstorm. I open my drawer and dig for my phone, the harsh glare almost blinding my frail eyes. I scroll through the notifications that built up overnight. Boring news reports, some kinda funny memes, same old, not terribly interesting. I tap away at my music playlist, pulling up my select favorites. Soon a sweet but somber piano fills my ears as I walk into the small bathroom. Start to undress as I begin fiddling with the nozzles, turning them to just the right temperature. As I squirt a dollop of shampoo into my hair, I begin to scrub. I take a moment to let the soothing hot water rush over me as I try to gain my thoughts for the day ahead. This guy is overanalyzing a shower. Assuming she wakes up, I'll probably walk to school with Sayori, my bright-spirited, happy-go-lucky friend since our primary years. We've been relatively distant since the semester started, but in recent weeks we've been walking to school together just about every day. She'll probably bug me again about joining a club, despite my repeated objections otherwise. Call me antisocial, but I cherish the little free time I have after school, which I admittedly use more for leisure instead of schoolwork. No club has ever felt important enough for me to give up those couple of hours... to myself up. Okay, yeah. Plus, I know when Sayori tells me she wants me to join a club, it's because she wants me to join her club, the Doki Doki Literature Club. She didn't come up with the name. From what she's told me, other than that she's adopted the title of Vice President, she only has 3 other members. Wonder why that could be. Bless her sweet yet oblivious heart, but pouring out my feelings onto a piece of paper isn't exactly my forte. I especially don't want to make a fool of myself when my work doesn't hold up to the others. Work I'm not getting credit for, nonetheless. I finish up my shower and step out, a fluffy towel wrapped around my waist. I reach for another towel and begin to dry my damp black hair. I toss the towel aside as I dig into my closet for my pressed school uniform. I grab my comb and begin to comb and style my hair, while also grabbing a toothbrush with my free hand. Compared to other schools, our uniform... oh god, is actually pretty stylish. I feel bad for those American students who have to wear just a polo shirt and pants. How boring. I'm Canadian and I had to wear that. That's not just American, bro. I rinse my mouth and head out the door, taking a final look in the mirror. Handsome as ever, I jokingly say to myself. Almost tiptoeing, I quietly step downstairs as to not wake my parents. They work late in the day and don't come home till early AM the next day, so these early hours are really the only time they have to sleep. I creep into the kitchen and look in the fridge for a quick snack before I leave. Eggs? Too complex. Cereal? Can't stay for long. Smoothie? Too loud. My eyes focus on a chocolate chip Rice Krispie bar. I grab the snack and slip it into my pocket. Head for the door and start making my way to the front gate. I glance down at my phone. 7:40. School starts at 8:45. A brisk 10-minute walk to the campus, then maybe finding a place to sit and hop into this new manga I started reading. It was slow at first, but now it seems things are finally about to pick up. Ha, slurp! I almost fall flat on my ass, but I grab the fence for support. Standing in front of me is Sayori, her genuine smile beaming at me. She giggles at my clumsiness, not offering to help me up. I lurch forward and dust myself off. Gee, Sayori, you trying to give me a heart attack? Don't be so dramatic, Slurp. I'm sure those mangas you love give you far worse scares than I could. I roll my eyes as we start walking towards the campus. Sayori right beside me. So how was your weekend? Oh, you know, usual stuff. Finished up classwork, tried to start reading a new manga. Pretty dull. Yours? She pauses for a moment, carefully thinking of her choice of words. Just at home. You know how lazy I am. Sayori laughs and I nod in acknowledgement. The car speeds by and splashes a huge puddle on the road. Instinctively, I push myself and Sayori out of the way. The water splashes onto the sidewalk, leaving a dark streak on the pavement. You okay? Sayori tries to squeak something, but her voice gets tangled. Her cheeks were blushing hard. Confused, I glanced down. My hands were sort of wrapped around her shoulders, but they were also a bit close to her. I immediately pull away. Sorry. Lol. It's okay. An awkward silence lingers for about a minute. Trying to break this awkward tension I unintentionally created. I dig into my pocket and find the Rice Krispie bar. So, you hungry? Sayori turns to me and looks at the bar. A smile breaks on her face. Ooh, gimme. Sayori tries to reach the bar that I teasingly held out of her reach. She playfully pounds my chest. Meanie? Okay, here. I hand the bar to her, and in seconds she has it open and takes a chunk. Okay, I guess we're not eating anything then. So good. Thank you, Slurp. Well, friends have to look out for friends. Don't mention it. When I say this, Sayori's face kind of contorts into some unusual expression I can't place. She nods and continues eating the breakfast bar. As we approach the school, the influx of students grows greater, the sounds of the indistant chatting getting louder. The sound of my yawning being ever more apparent. Seeing all this is I never know. Nice design. Right here, this is. Seeing all the couples holding hands and walking together makes me feel slightly awkward with someone like Sayori at my side. We walk through the doors of the school, an expansive campus complete with its own koi pond and fully staffed cafe. I stroll through that's a fucking high school? Damn! Passing by the endless doors of classrooms and eventually reach the entrance of the cafeteria. Sayori still trails behind me. Holy shit! That's pretty nice looking. So have you thought about joining any clubs yet? Ponder my response for a moment. Well, I was thinking of joining the anime club, but I wasn't really sure. Oh my god, why am I yawning so much? What the fuck? Ugh. A hint of unenthusiasm lingers in my voice. Of course, I didn't really have any interest in joining. If an anime club is anything like how bad certain fan communities can get, then that's something I want no part in. Slump, you can't be serious. Don't you watch enough of that at home? When you want to join a club that, you know, expands your horizons, makes you think a little? Don't I think enough at school, Sayori? My voice is dripping with sarcasm. I stroll to a row of vending machines and pull up my... Oh, billfold. I thought it said blindfold. I'm like, what the fuck? Not like that, but in a good way. Thinking without restriction. No grades or anything. Just thinking for fun. Peering through the display, filled with colorful packaged drinks and snacks, I eye my usual morning drink, a chilled coffee. I push a button and the machine gives a soft electric whir as it dispenses my beverage. You know, this club sounds kind of familiar. Sayori perks up. Really? I grab my drink from its holder and start to open it. Yeah, And I think I know someone who's in it, too. She's the vice president, I think? A sly smile escapes my lips. Sayori gives me a look. Okay, fine. You know me too well. It's the literature club. Sayori, without warning, Sayori grabs me by the blazer and shakes me, almost making me spill my drink. Oh, please, Slurm, can you consider joining it? We're really desperate for another member. We want at least one new person before the festival next week. There's a trace of desperation in her voice. I remember in primary school when Sayori would finish a cookie that she had at lunchtime. She would then use the same voice to ask me over and over for my cookie. Eventually, I would just get annoyed and give it to her. Well, her begging won't work this time. Pull on my poker face. Give me one good reason. Sayori grins. Actually, I can give you two. For one of our members baked a tray of cupcakes for our meeting today. They are some of the best I've ever tasted, so you have to stop by for at least one. I think about it for a moment. I am a sucker for sweets, and Sayori knows it, playing into my weakness like a lion does an injured antelope. Plus, Sayori knows a thing or two about good food, since she's constantly hungry. Guess one bite couldn't hurt. My mind snaps back to reality. And the other? Oh, she does this cute tick where she taps both her index fingers together. Okay, it took me a while to get that one worked out. I may have told our club leader I would bring a new member back today. I almost choke on my coffee. Sayori! Don't make promises you don't know if you can keep. I don't need to be sorry about that because you're at least going to stop by for a cupcake, right? I think about my usual routine after school. Walk home, unwind, take a shower. Oh, take a shower? Didn't you just do that when you woke up? What a wingnut. About as exciting of a day as wet cardboard. So it's not like I have any other commitments that would stop me from going. Plus, it'll make Sayori happy. And how could I say no to a face like hers? Alright, Sayori, I'll go. As long as you meet me after the final bell at my class to take me where it is. Really? Oh, thank you, you son of a bitch. Sayori wraps her arms around me in a tight hug. I can't help but blush. Darting my eyes around, nobody seemed to notice. The bell rings, signifying the start of first period. I say goodbye to Sayori, who happily strolls off in the opposite direction. I walk back outside and take another sip of my drink, the smells of morning dew flooding my nostrils. My thoughts linger back to Sayori in the literature club. Would I really be happy spending upwards of an hour after school at a writing club? I mean, at least it might help me improve my skills and in return help my grades in class, but I'm doing this all for a cupcake, I think with a laugh. I mingle with the crowd of students, trying to reach my class. I head inside the main building. Walk up the stairs, I let out a long, quiet sigh. Another boring day awaits. I don't share any classes with Sayori, which are mostly filled with a bunch of random students with a few other boys that fit the title of acquaintance rather than friend. Maybe joining Sayori's club will give me a group of people I can actually consider my friends. Literature fans or not. Or perhaps something more. Dots. I guzzle the remainder of my drink and toss the can in the recycling bin, checking my phone one last time before turning it off. A hefty fine? You get fined in high school in Japan for having your phone? Holy shit! I hastily shoved my phone into my bag. Calculus, my favorite. I step inside the class. Chapter 2. Welcome to the club. After the final bell. As soon as the final bell rang, the class became abuzz with activity. Student and teacher unanimously eager to go home. I stood up and started gathering my papers together, hastily shoving them into my bag. As much as I wanted to make Sayori happy, I felt a certain uneasiness about going to this meeting. What if I don't fit in with these people? What if they end up hating me and I'm stuck there awkwardly trying to make conversation for an hour? Maybe I should just pretend my mom needs me at home or something. I ultimately snapped out of my selfishness and decided that if I could call myself Sayori's friend, I would go, regardless of how bad it turned out, for her sake at least. I slung my bag over my shoulder and headed for the door. Try not to get swept into the crowd of people trying to leave. I lingered by a nearby restroom. It looked a little odd, but I was clear of the storm of people. I tried to find Sayori through the tsunami of students, but there was no sign of her. I pulled out my phone. Maybe she texted me? Nada. No new messages. She's probably stuck in a crowd in another part of the school or something. Might as well wait around for a bit before I decided to leave. Dots. Soon the crowd thinned out to a handful of students. Clicked my phone off and looked around the hall. My eyes drifted to a dull green poster board with various flyers and sheets tacked onto it. I walked over to the board and read a few of them. It was what you'd expect to find on a high school bulletin board. School announcements, the lunch menu for this week, etc. Most of the announcements were talking about the festival next week. I saw a sheet for the anime club, which said it was having a meeting later today. Maybe if Sayori doesn't show, I'll try to pop into that. The flyer caught my eye next to it. Doki Doki Literature Club seeking members. They have initials for last names! Monica S, Sayori A, Yuri K, and Natsuki T. Love reading, enjoy expanding your mind, want to relax with a good book, then consider porn. Various stickers of chibi cats and other decorations were plastered all over the poster. It was very cute. My eyes glanced to the sign-up sheet. It disheartened me to find that there wasn't a single name scrawled on the paper. So they really are trying to get new members. I suddenly felt bad for thinking about skipping this meeting. How selfish could I be? Imagine how sad Sayori would be if I just got up and left it, having to tell her club friends that she couldn't get a member after all. Shook my head clear of those dark thoughts. There's also a roaster to the left of the posters. President Monica, yep. I didn't recognize the other two, but the name Monica did sound familiar. I guess I'll be meeting those two later. I heard a rapid tap 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 of footsteps and turned around to see Sayori practically barreling at me. I'm okay. She came... Don't ask me what I just did. She put her hands on her knees and tried to catch her breath between ragged gasps. The scene was both concerning and somewhat hilarious. You alright? You need some water? I started reaching into my bag, digging for the small water jug I usually keep in my bag. Sayori stuck out her arm, grasping her hand out like a toy claw machine. She swung her head up and practically chugged the bottle until it was dry. Thank you, Slurp. Did you run here? What class did you come out of? She regained her composure, her breaths much cleaner. Art with my new teacher, Mr. Tagomi. Tagomi. Why does that name sound familiar? Hang on, I'm gonna have to... While I respond to this message, I'm gonna have to think for a couple of seconds. Because that name sounds really familiar. Sorry, boys. I got plans with a lady later on. And it's gonna go exactly as you all think. So, I'm still blanking on this whole Tagomi thing, though, because that name sounds very familiar. Somebody Google it for me. My brain draws up the campus map. From here, that class is practically on the other side of the school. You didn't have to sprint here. I was gonna wait for you anyway. I say that as I take my empty water jug back. I know, but I couldn't help it. I'm just super excited. I can't wait for you to meet everyone. They're really great people. You're gonna love them. Sayori led me down the hallway, passing by rows of closed doors. We walked outside the foyer, passing by the koi pond. Soon we were in an adjacent building, where she led me up a flight of stairs. The seniors building, I think to myself. Normally I have no business being here, but guess I do now. Sayori guides me past more classrooms until she stops me at one, the door slightly open. On the doorknob was a makeshift sign that said DDLC in red marker and a heart drawn next to it. Sayori turned to me. Ready? I shrug. Full of energy, Sayori swings open the classroom door before it slams into the wall. I hastily grab the knob, stopping it from full momentum. Everybody say hi to our new member! She was practically shouting. I opened my mouth to say something, but first I take a minute to look around the classroom. The only thing I could find is a movie called The Man in the High Castle. Okay, yeah, no, I don't know that one. A row of long windows faces down towards the koi pond. Midday sun streaming in through the windows. Thanks for actually Googling that, though, by the way. You fucking legend. Uniform wood desks run in rows, with shelves stocked with books and folders behind them. In the far right corner, it seems there was a walk-in closet, probably with supplies inside. Sitting at the teacher's desk, a girl with flowing brown hair and a white ribbon to match looks at Sayori and I and gives us a genuine smile. She shuts her silver laptop and gets up to greet us. Hello, my name is Monica. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure to meet you. She extends out a hand, which I gingerly shake. Slurp it. Likewise. That's all I can manage to say. Say, I think I've seen you before. Did you have physics with Dr. Surawaza? Monica gives me a thoughtful look, trying to place me. Suddenly, it all clicks in my head. Yeah, I remember you as well. You won the experimental, project at the end of last year. I feel bad for the janitors who had to clean up all those eggs, though. We all share a laugh. Monica looks past me. Yuri, come say hi to our new member. I'm back. Yes, Marcos is back. Welcome back. Yuri, come say hi to our new member. This Monica is in the club? One of the most popular and smartest girls at this campus? Monica, from what I've heard about her, is practically a model student with great marks, an important figure in a bunch of groups and clubs. It's no wonder she's the president of this one, but I didn't expect her to be a part of this sort of group. Looking up from her book, an unusually decorated one, I might add, a mature-figured tall girl with violet hair greets me. Greetings. My name is Yuri. You must be the boy Sayori always talks about. Her voice, smooth as lavender, puts me at ease. I'm laughing at voice smooth as lavender because of the way I just fucking read it. Just woke up, what did I miss? You missed the ending of Salvation! You missed the ending of Salvation! Quick, it's uploaded. Go watch it and then come back here. Go watch the ending and then come back here. It was only 20 minutes. The last stream was only 20 minutes, because... Just do it! Nice to meet you, Yuri. I say that, but my mind lingers on her comment. Always talks about? How many times has my name come up in this club before? I look at Sayori, but she seemingly wasn't paying attention. Or just didn't hear Yuri's comment. And last but not least, we have... Where is she? Monica glances around the class, puzzled. I could have sworn I just saw her. She raises her voice. Natsuki, where are you? Over here! This MC is the most romanceful. Ooh. You know what? He's the most romanceful, but it's also sad. Don't tell me why it's sad, because I'm gonna choose to believe it's not actually sad. And you're just yanking my chain, the chain that I'm wearing. You're just yanking my chain, because it's not actually gonna be sad. It's gonna be happy. It's gonna be happy mods. Everybody, damn it! I somehow got this tangled. How did I get it tangled? Happy mods, no sadness. I hear books being shoved around on shelves before a girl steps out. Whoa. Natsuki, as Monica called her, is a short girl, maybe around 5'5" to my 5'10". They made her 5'5" in this mod? So how tall's fucking Yuri? 6'4"? Okay, she's probably not that tall. But Natsuki 5'5"? I like that way better than the 4'11" the wiki has her at. Red ribbons are tied in her hair, and a red hair clip rests on one of her bangs. She dusts herself off, wonder what she was doing back there, and walks over to us. She's so cute. I can't help but think. She stands next to Yuri, a considerable size difference between the two, and looks me up and down. She turns to Sayori. You brought a boy, Sayori! Way to kill the mood! She folds her arms across her chest. Don't be mean to Slurp, Natsuki. He's really excited about becoming a new member, so show him at least a little politeness. Besides, you did bake a cupcake for him, so... No, I didn't! All I did was bake cupcakes for a new member, not him! But I am the new member, so technically you did bake them for me. Natsuki gives me a look. Oh boy, now I'm on her bad side. I haven't been here for more than 5 minutes and I've already made an enemy? What's next? Trying to move things along, Monika claps her hands together. I missed. How about we all take a seat? Natsuki, you can get your cupcakes out now. At this, Natsuki smiles and walks towards the teacher's desk, where a small mini-fridge sits next to it. 5 desks have been arranged to form a makeshift table, with one being stuck out as head chair. Clap, clap. Monika sits down at the head one as Sayori and I sit next to each other. How about I prepare some tea? No? Good idea. Yuri nods and heads to the closet. I hear shuffling followed by the sound of a faucet turning on. From across the class, I can see Natsuki fidgeting with a plate, adjusting the foil ever so slightly. When she has it just right, she carefully picks it up and walks to our table, placing it in the middle of our table. She takes the seat closest to Monika. Yuri returns to our table, tray in hand. Can't help but gaze at the intricate designs etched onto the plattery, reminiscent of early Japanese geometric art. It looks beautiful. And rather expensive. MC is monster. I must confess that I feel like a monster. Gently, Yuri places a tray next to Natsuki's. I need to. It was fun being at your street. Oh, you need to go. Oh. Yeah, man. Raymond, thank you for coming out. I cannot wait to see you again, my friend, because it's always such a pleasure when you're around. Have yourself a magnificent rest of your day, Raymond. Carefully, Yuri places a teacup with a dish in front of us. With a dish! She hands us a dish and pours the tea. The smell wanders into my nostrils, a faintly fruity smell like wild berries. Reminds me of oolong tea, a favorite of my mother when she gets migraines. Ready? Like a magician's cape, she lifts away the foil. Sayori's jaw drops a little. Resting on the plate are 8 white, neatly arranged fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like pieces of shit. I mean, cats. Oh, shit. Off tomorrow. Icing was used to draw the whiskers, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. They were very adorable and looked delicious. Natsuki. These look amazing! And then she smashes the chair over Natsuki, and next thing you know, turns out, plot twist, this is a WWE mod. Did I mention I'm extremely tired? Natsuki gives a bright smile, enjoying the praise. Well, when I'm the one baking them, you know that it's gonna be good. Yuri laughs quietly, and Natsuki glances at her. So cute! She eagerly reaches out to grab a cupcake. Natsuki quickly slaps away at her hand. LOL. Don't just grab him. I'll serve him. Ow, meanie! Sayori whimpers as she gingerly rubbed her bruised hand. I chuckle. Ha 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 ha. Natsuki sure is a feisty one. I grabbed the cupcake that Natsuki served and slowly turned it around on my fingers, looking at the craftsmanship. It looks professionally made, but has a certain homely vibe you can only get from home-baked goods. Clearly a lot of love went into creating these. Almost a crime to eat it. Out of the corner of my eye, I can feel Natsuki looking at me. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? To See my reaction? I pull down a part of the wrapper and take a hearty bite. Ah, shit, she's gonna kill me. The flavors dance in my mouth like a fiesta. Chocolate swirling with vanilla. It takes all I can muster not to just shove the sweet treat into my mouth. I turn to her. This has to be one of the best cupcakes I have ever tasted. Thank you for making these. Thank you, that means a lot. I smile warmly. Perhaps I still have a chance to be friends with her after all. So, Slurp, what made you want to join the literature club? Shit, I think to myself. So, what is this mod? This is a NATSUKI romance mod. In the way that Salvation was a Sayori romance mod, but also had, like, some Monica shit going on. I think this one is just like a slice of life NATSUKI mod. I don't think there's gonna be any, tricks from Monica in this one. That's the way to put it, some tricks. I don't think there's gonna be any of that. But, I feel like we're gonna suffer heartbreak at least one point, because there's always heartbreak in any romance ever before we get to the happiness. So it's literally just a let's date NATSUKI mod. Should have been prepared for this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I'm only here mostly because I was practically dragged here by Sayori. I regain my composure. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori always seems really happy here, so I figured. Monica smiles. No need to be embarrassed. As president of this club, it is my top priority to make sure you feel right at home with us. I take a sip of my tea. Really? So, you're the president of this club, I see. What about all your other clubs? How are you making time for them? She gives a light laugh. Well, to be honest, I started to grow tired of all the politics and drama that comes with the clubs of that variety. Nothing. Clubs filled with people more interested in flaunting their own egos and pushing their authority. So I resigned from my posts and opted to make a club based on something I've always had a love and respect for. Sunshine and hands plus X and music equals this mod. Now that's some math. Monica's a great leader. To solve it, try to solve it. The ultimate puzzle. Sunshine and happiness plus band relationships and R. Kelly whilst fucking equals this mod. Now I'm on track. Yuri and Natsuki nod in agreement. That's wonderful. I take another sip of my tea, my thoughts lingering back to the flyer and empty sign-up sheet. I'm surprised there aren't more people here than just us. Must be difficult to start a new club, even with the support of your peers. Monica nods. Each of us is doing something that fits our defining interest for the event. For example, Yuri will be making decorations and working on the theme for the event, while Natsuki will also be making... Did I say Natsuki twice, or did I say Yuri up here? I honestly can't fucking remember. I'm not sure what the other clubs have planned, but whatever they do, I'm certain that ours will be one to remember. She sets her teacup down on the dish. She sets it down on the dish. But even if nobody decides to join, I would be more than happy with just 5 of us together. It would be their loss anyway. Monica laughs a little. I share the laugh, taking another bite of my cupcake. This, combined with the tea, go really well together. I could get used to this. Dots. A brief silence. May I ask, Slurp, what do you enjoy reading? I try to think of a response. I can't just say I almost only read manga, can I? Unless I want them to think I'm some sort of social outcast or something. I'll just try downplaying it. Well, I mostly read books that focus on science fiction and adventure, but if I want to be honest, I tend to be more engaged with manga than anything else. Natsuki's face perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but even if she didn't say anything. Oh, MC plus Johan plus Dr. Dark plus Wallace equals Shattered Worlds. You're right. You're absolutely right. She takes another bite of her cupcake. Yuri seems indifferent. I see. I can't say that I read much manga, but I do respect the ability to convey a story almost solely through visual arts. It takes a talented writer to master that level of storytelling. What do you read, Yuri? I ask, intrigued. She's silent for a moment. Oh, fuck, I meant to say no! Horror. Let's see. She traces her finger around the curve of her teacup. The stories I enjoy the most are ones which build deep and complex fantasy worlds. Worlds with an intricate level of detail and thought put behind them. I admire the ability to craft a world unfamiliar to the reader that one can simply get lost in. She goes on, clearly passionate about her favorite genres. MC plus Johan equals rivals or ships. I also have a deep interest in psychological elements, with an emphasis on horror or shock. How writers can twist and convey the reader's thoughts into their own image for a more personalized reaction has always interested me, with the different styles possible. I'm currently in between reading 2 books that play into this element well. If you're interested, I could introduce them to you. I'd love to. Not even thinking about what I'm saying anymore. I hate horror, or anything scary. I try to write about happier things. You write, Natsuki? That's awesome. I'd love to read some of your poems someday. There's a genuine enthusiasm in my voice. Natsuki blushes again and trips over her words. You wouldn't like them. What I write is what I'm told at least is too. Monika cuts her off. Cute? Don't say that! Oh, but in a good way. It's both simple and complex. You should be proud of your writing. It's unique. Natsuki shakes her head, as if a fly was buzzing at her face. I do not approve. It's not that they're cute. She does a quotation mark gesture with her hands. It's just, I'm not confident in how I write. Oh, I understand. Yuri nods. Often, for both experienced and amateur writers, it can be difficult to open up your emotions and thoughts to your audience. When you write, you aren't just writing for a crowd, you're also writing for yourself. It's okay to not want to share sometimes. Do you have experience with sharing your work, Yuri? I think Natsuki would benefit from it if you two traded your writing for a peer review one day. Says it's not valid? What? What? Oh, hang on. I'm gonna have to have a look at this. Okay, let's try this now. Where is it? Okay, I literally just went back into it and clicked on it. Maybe now. Is the code even different? Oh, the code is different. Okay, try it now. Sayori and I nod in agreement. Yuri seems displeased at the idea, but goes along with it anyway. Sayori looks at her and Natsuki. I'd love to read your poems if you ever felt confident enough to share them with us. Monika is silent for a moment, but then speaks up. I have an idea, everyone. Yuri and Natsuki look at Monika with a glaze of uncertainty. Hey, has joined the battle bus. I'm gonna have to add you to the one group there as soon as I'm finished here. Yuri and Natsuki look at Monika with a glaze of uncertainty. How about we all write poems for each other to read and review? Oh yeah. She turns to Sayori, who's now on her 3rd cupcake, for agreement. Yeah, a good icebreaker. Sayori's voice is muffled, for there is a whole cupcake in her mouth. My voice chokes. Sounds like a great idea, but there's just a slight hiccup. I pause. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to join the club. I was looking at a few others that would take. My voice trails off, as does my point. Soon all 4 girls are looking at me, a dose of sadness in their eyes. But I'm sorry, I just thought... Dots! Natsuki looks away from me, rejected. Oh, slurp. I run a hand through my hair. God damn it, I think to myself. I'm completely defenseless against these girls. I'm gonna make a clear-headed decision when I'm in a situation like this. Dots. Well, if writing poems is the price I have to pay to spend time with them, I clear my throat. Okay, I've decided. I'm joining the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh, look at it. They're all so happy. Yeah! Look at how happy they all are. Sayori squeals. Oh, Slurp, I'm so happy! Through the desks, she embraces me, almost making me knock over my teacup. Monica lifts her teacup, as do the girls. Then it's official! Welcome to the club, Slump! Everyone clinks their glasses together and takes a drink. After Sayori lets me go, I do the same. Monica glances at her watch and claps her hands together. How to be your biggest rivals and friends. Guess right. Okay, everyone. I think we can end today on a good note. You all can leave now, but don't forget to write and bring your poems for tomorrow's meeting. Monica turns to me. Slump, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. That's correct. Johan and Ems. Yep. No. Johan and Yuri. Johan and Yuri. I smile. Likewise, Monica. Yuri begins to put away the tea set while Natsuki and Monica place the desks back in order. Feeling unhelpful, I try to help Natsuki rearrange the desks. Don't worry, I got it. My hand brushes up against hers. She blushes and pulls her hand away. Thanks, Hercules, but I think I got it. Natsuki snorks as she punches the desk back into order. Pushes the desk. I was gonna say punches it. Whoa, holy shit. Sayori appears next to me. Hey, Slurp, since we're already here, do you want to walk back home like old times? She says in a hopeful tone. That's right. With Sayori being occupied by the club, we never went home at the same time. Now there's no reason not to, unfortunately. Sure, let's go. She grins and turns to the door. Bye, guys. The other three say their goodbyes as I head out the door with Sayori. Dots. So, what did you think of the club? We just left campus and we're walking home. What's convenient is that Sayori and I only live a few blocks away from each other, so we don't need to worry about splitting up. She walks backwards in front of me, eager to see my reaction. I think she's very cute. Certainly looks like a lot of fun. Sayori's face turns into confusion. She stammers. Huh? Oh shit, what did I say? My thoughts scramble like eggs. God damn it, speak! I said the club looks cute and it's very close-knit. It looks like a lot of fun. Sayori's face repeats that odd emotion from this morning again, once again confusing me as well. What's that face supposed to represent? I really can't place it. Is it sadness? Fear? Resentment? Or just confusion? I have no clue. Dots. We walk in silence for a moment about a block away. I can see the roof lines of her complex. So, you're gonna go to tomorrow's meeting, right? There's some uneasiness in her voice. At least I think it's uneasiness. I nod yes. Why wouldn't I? Just making sure, Slurp. She gives me a half-hearted smile. We reach the gates to her home. I wave goodbye and start walking home. My mind lingers back to the club. Monica, Yuri, Natsuki, and of course Sayori. Would I really be happy spending an hour after school every day with them? It's only an hour, dude. Man up. I think so. I mean, I think I made a good first impression on them, or at least I hope so. They seem to like me, as I did back. Plus, staying in a club means getting the chance to know Natsuki better among everyone else. I unlock the door to my house and step inside. As usual, my parents have already gone to work. I check the stove and a pot of soba set, still warm to the touch. I grab a bowl and take my stuff upstairs to my room. Placing the bowl and drink down on my desk, I dig in my drawer for a fresh sheet of line paper and pen. I put it in front of me and stare at the blank paper. Dots. Shit. Now comes the hard part. What do I write? Chapter 3. Poem Panic. Afternoon. Still in school. Tick, 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 tick. My eyes watched the clock following the hands as they slowly went full circle. I unhappily tapped my pencil on my paper, growing bored with my random sketches on my notepad. My classmates looked just as antsy to leave, fidgeting around in their seats. My teacher, Miss Gojo, is a slim-built woman whose dark hair is always tied up in a bun, with glasses to boot. She has the look of an intellectual, and the knowledge to back that up. To her credit, she's a great teacher who cares deeply about the curriculum for her students and has a passion for talking about her fields of study, which is anatomy. Her lectures are almost always both interactive and memorable when it's not going by the textbook. But I swear, if I have to hear one more word about chemical reactions over reptilian brain enzymes when subjected to cold temperature environments, I might just... The bell rings. The class becomes a buzz with activity. Ms. Gojo Jojo is babbling on about the homework due next class, but nobody, myself included, is really listening. I grab my spare papers and shove them into my bag. Believe it or not, I was actually eager for my first real meeting with the literature club. Not because it gave me a chance to know Natsuki better, but I actually found myself enjoying the challenge of writing a poem to my surprise. It took me well over an hour to carve out a poem I felt was worthy enough to share with someone. But once I finished it, I felt overwashed with a great sense of pride in my writing. Maybe Sayori was right in saying that writing becomes more enjoyable when it isn't forced enough through the confines of schoolwork. I glance at my phone. Speaking of Sayori, I expected a text from her telling me to wait for her, but I haven't heard anything from her since the walk home yesterday. She probably expects me to go on my own, now that I know how to get here, I think to myself. No bother. I still remember how to get there. I slip out the door and mingle with the crowd of students, all wrapped up in their own conversations. I slip out a door and step outside, going through the foyer. The midday sun was streaking across the thin clouds, giving them a rosy pink-orange glow. It looked amazing, reflecting on the koi pond, giving the area a serene and quiet aura. I walked through the doors of the now empty seniors building and made my way up the stairs. I turn the corner. Something catches my eye. A short girl dressed in her uniform, back partially facing me as I stepped out of the restroom, a cluster of paper towels clenched in her fist. She rubs her eyes with the towels and tosses them into the bin. She walks away, seemingly unaware of my presence. I recognize the pink hair immediately. Natsuki? She turns to face me. I can see ugly redness on her cheeks, eyes puffy. Dots! She gives me a mixed look of fear and embarrassment before she turns the other heel and almost runs back to the classroom. Oh no! Oh no, what? I stand in the hallway, dumbfounded. What did I say? What happened to her? I pause by a water fountain, trying to collect my thoughts. I looked down as she was crying, long enough to have her eyes puffy like that. But over what? What could make a sweet and innocent girl like her cry like that? God, I hope she's okay. Still in a daze, I walked into the classroom. Yuri and Monica were chatting indistinctly at the teacher's desk, Yuri leaning against the solid oak desk with Monica sitting in the black leather chair used by the teacher. The same book Yuri was reading yesterday sits at her side. At one of the front desks sits Sayori, scribbling with all the focus I've ever seen on a piece of paper. And tucked away at the back of the desk is Natsuki, head down at the same book she had earlier. Why isn't anyone talking to her? Monica notices me enter and slightly spins her chair to face me. Ah! There you are, Slurp. I was wondering where you were at. I was starting to think you were going to skip out on us. She slightly laughs. Oh, don't worry, Monica. I'm one of my word. My eye really hurts. I share the laugh. I'm actually looking forward to sharing my poem. Believe it or not, I actually spent the night working on it. A slight exaggeration, but how would she know? Monica gives me an intrigued look. Really? Well, it's good to see you taking this club seriously. Can't wait to read it. She gives me a final smile and turns back to Yuri, the conversation over. Should I talk to Natsuki? Does she even want to be talked to right now? She looks like she wants to be left alone. I decide to just give her some space and share poems with her last. I walk over to Sayori, who is wrapped up in her own little world. She doesn't notice me approach. I playfully tap her nose. She glances up and beams me a smile. Huh, Slurp? Ready to share poems? I give a light shrug. Ready as I'll ever be. Monica claps her hands together, which grabs mine and everyone else's attention. God, why the fuck am I so tired? What the fuck? Not like I didn't get any sleep last night. I got a decent amount. Okay, everyone, I hope you brought them with you, because it's time to share poems. Ow! Oh, hello, Slurp. How are you today? She still sits at the teacher's desk, laptop half closed. Good as ever. You? She gives me a pleasant smile. Just happy to have everyone here. Ready to read my poem? Absolutely. She hands me the paper and I start to read. Monica Selk? Selk? Monica Selk? Well, it's the Hole in the Wall poem. I hand her the paper back. From what I could gather, Monica's poem was about... I'm actually not quite sure. There's a lot of ways one can interpret that. Freedom? Taking the road less traveled? And try to take the path less traveled by that first step you take. If there was a message, it was lost on me. What did you think, Slimp? I can feel those pretty green eyes on me, patiently waiting for me to respond. I start to sweat, unable to efficiently collect my thoughts. Well, it's very abstract. I laugh awkwardly, and I can feel my cheeks getting hot. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I'm not exactly the best at giving critique. She laughs. Don't worry, Slurp. It's good that she called it abstract because that's the style I was going for. Leaving the message up to the reader. What did you think the message was? Try to rack my brain for a quick, effective response. Not that it could be about the loss of a loved one? The hole in the wall representing the afterlife. The blindness representing the true scale of a person's pain? There's a grain of uncertainty in my voice. Monica takes a moment to let that comment sink in, turning it over in her head like a Rubik's Cube. That's good! Well, I did write a story with a different theme in mind. I love your interpretation. That puts me at ease. Slightly. Monica points at my paper. Can I read yours now? I silently hand her my paper. I watch her eyes trail to the bottom of the paper, soaking in every detail of her face, trying to read her thoughts. She offers nothing. A blank stare. What is she thinking? It seems like an eternity passes before she speaks. Slump. This is pretty good. I like the way you portrayed the setting, but... She pauses. It could use some work. Your overall message was clear, but I feel you could have used some words differently. But it's a great first poem for a relatively inexperienced writer, and you should be proud. I smile, grateful for the genuine comment. Thank you. When I started writing, I wasn't sure how I wanted to write the setting as. I almost just gave up and wanted to do a different story altogether. Well, consider this my writing tip of the day. When you get stuck on one part of your poem, or any story really, it'll stop your flow entirely and mess up how you view your story. My advice? She waves her hand. Just move on. Write down what you have on your mind for that part and just keep writing. You can always go back and revise later. That is helpful. Thank you. No problem. Don't forget, you can always come to me for advice on anything. As club president, it's my duty to make you feel welcome. I smile. Thanks. I'll keep that in mind. Sayori gives me a bright smile when she sees me approach her. I take a moment to look at the paper she had. It was obvious from the sharp contrast in writing she had gotten something written down, but then came back to finish it later. This should be interesting, I thought to myself. Hey, Slurp, ready to exchange poems? She fumbles with the paper, which I gingerly take. Sayori Ahsoka. It's the Dear Sunshine poem. I read through the paper. It's a brief story about how the sunshine greets her every morning, persuading her to rise out of bed despite her objections. Very cutesy, with a happy tone hanging over the text like an umbrella. The final stanza? I want breakfast. In short, it had Sayori's name written all over it. So, what did you think? She's clearly eager to hear my thoughts. I hand her the paper back. Thought it was good, Sayori. Short but sweet. But something tells me you were a little hungry when you were writing it. I grin. She looked confused at first, but then started to laugh. Well, I woke up late and didn't get to eat breakfast this morning, so I was feeling hungry when I was writing it. Couldn't help but shake my head. Sayori, You really need to work on getting up on time. Eventually, it's gonna hurt your marks. Sayori gives me a dejected look and says nothing. I try to move things along. Anyway, want to read mine now? At this, her demeanor changes. She eagerly snatches the paper from my hand and starts to read. Sayori slowly starts to read my paper, and I watch her expression morph from vague interest to some variety of oh. Really the only way I can describe it. I even hear an audible whoa under her breath. After maybe 30 seconds, she looks up at me. Slurp, this is amazing. This has to be one of the best poems I've ever read. Her voice is filled with excitement. I wave her off. Come on, it's okay, but it's certainly not the best. No, really, I loved how you tried to put the reader into the setting and how you made the world around him interesting. Even describing the smallest of details, like the coldness of the ocean and all that. It was great. She smiles at me. I think about her review for a moment. Praise is nice, but I also want criticism. Then again, maybe going to a carefree girl like Sayori for an honest review isn't the best idea in the world. I start to go find someone else when Sayori speaks up. Are we still walking home together? I pause. Obviously. Why, what's wrong? Nothing, just double checking. Oh dear. I smile, say nothing, and go to find someone else to share with. Uh-oh. I'm back. Oh good, you're back for the last 4 minutes. By Yuri Kataguri. Yuri Kataguri. Yuri's poem was oozing with symbolism. Her poem, I think, took a more fantastical route, talking about the supernatural and spirits. It was only 8 lines long, but it was a very strong, serene poem with a mystical ending. Dots. I sneak a glance up. Indifferent, Yuri is nose deep in the book she had earlier. A maroon red book with a sketch of a cat's eye in a pyramid. Now I got something to show you. Ooh. Can't wait to have me a look. Read the title, written in black text. The Portrait of Markov. It looked very intimidating. Wonder what a book with that kind of cover could be about. And furthermore, what does a book like that say about Yuri's personality? I clear my throat. Let's have a look, shall we? Oh my god. Fully redesigned GUIs. Episode 1's key missing story pieces and elements finally included. Act 1 and 2 opening combined. Optional choice to skip day 1 entirely and day 2 entirely. Crimson... Okay, you know what? Let's look at this. GUI redesign, some art change, grammar fixed. Hope for change. Smarts warp in redesigned. Oh man, oh man. Oh man, oh man. So we're gonna go ahead and upvote this. Oh my word. Well, I know what I'm downloading as soon as I'm finished here. Holy mackerel. Did you check out the logo? The logos? No, I did. Wait, there were logos there too? What? Where? Do I have to click on it? No. Where, damn it? Show me logos. I cleared my throat. Yuri. She glances up from her book. The logos didn't appear. Oh, rip. Yes. I finished your poem. Yuri closed her book and gently pushed it aside. Really? What did you think of it? I take another look at her paper, staring at the delicate cursive handwriting. Thought it was very nice. It was rather brief, but did contain a lot of pleasant, my mind blanks, imagery. Thank you, Slurp. Your sentiment means a lot. So I take it you're a fan of paranormal. Yuri gives me a quizzical look. I'm sorry? I raise the paper in my hand. Perhaps I misread. But is it not about ghosts? That's the impression I gathered. Yuri pauses for a moment. That's one way you could perceive it, but it wasn't what I had in mind. I cocked an eyebrow. Oh? What was the intention then? I am now intrigued. Well, I wouldn't want to mess with your certainly valid interpretations, but she trailed off. It's not that important, don't worry. She glances at my paper. May I read yours now? I silently handed her the paper, still very confused at how abruptly she ended that. Wouldn't she want to discuss her work? Dots. Yuri carefully reads my paper, soaking in every detail. I can see her head tilting as she slowly reads the end. Occasionally, I hear her mutter a few ohs and ahs. I lean against the opposing desk, waiting for her to finish. When she was done, she looks up at me, still holding the paper. Slurp, are you a first-time writer? I think for a moment. When it comes to writing just to write, yes. Why do you ask? She looks flustered, like she just said something wrong. No, it's nothing. It's just I'm reading through your paper and noticing distinct styles that first-time writers tend to do. Like what? Well, she picks up the pen lying on her desk and starts twirling around with her fingers. First-time writers usually make the objective of their work obvious to the reader. It isn't a bad style of writing, but it often comes off as immature, unkempt. They tend to use more basic vocabulary out of fear of scaring off or confusing the reader. It's certainly a safe tactic to employ, but for many readers it's a sign of shallowness or lack of confidence. There's an edge of authority in Yuri's voice. Right now, I am the student, and she is the teacher. I'm not sure whether to be grateful for this information or insulted by the fact she called me shallow. I know Yuri doesn't mean ill intent, but I'd be lying if that comment didn't sting just a bit. My mind wanders back to Monika and Natsuki's brief dialogue yesterday. It's both simple and complex. It's unique. I clear my throat. Kinda like how Natsuki writes? I dart my eyes to where she is, busy exchanging her poem with Sayori. I guess she didn't hear me mention her name. Yuri quickly shakes her head. Natsuki is... dots. Different. What you would think would be a weakness in her writing is actually a strength. She can use simple vocabulary to paint a vivid image. There are a few writers who can do this as well, and I think Natsuki is one of them, even if she doesn't do it actively. I ponder this for a moment. Yuri clears her throat and slides her book back towards herself. In any case, I'm curious to see what she'll think of it. Well, I think because I'm a dick, I'm going to save the anticipation of Natsuki reading her poem for next time. But as of right now, I'm still waiting to see the logos. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Damn! Doki Doki Shattered Worlds Episode 1, When Worlds Collide. Dude, and then you see the four guys up there. Look at that. Look at that. That's fucking awesome. Then Episode 2, it's all purple and fittingly so because it's a Yuri-based chapter. And then A Hope for Change looks fucking great as well. The bright colors give off a vibe where it's like things are gonna lighten up a little in this one. Which kind of, but also no. But I really like these two. The one for Episode 1 though, holy shit. That one's my favorite. That one's my favorite. QN Final Fantasy Victory Fanfare. Nice. That one is my favorite right there. That one is fucking awesome. Dude, excellent work. I cannot wait to download Episode 1 and get some shit going on with that. Because that is going to be a fun time. But that's all we have for today, folks. We had the ending of Salvation. We had the intro to Love and Literature, which I would have to imagine is going to be a lot of fun going forward. So, thank you guys so much for coming out today. Make sure to smash the like button if you haven't already. Make sure to click subscribe if you haven't already. And click the bell to stay notified when more streams go live. And have yourselves a wonderful day. Thank you so much for coming out. It means the world to me. Have yourselves a